Bandeyam Shri Guru Shri Yata Parakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Sya Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raganatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Sabadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Paran Sahagana Lalita Shivashikam Vitam Sya Om Gyanadim Timarandasya Gyanajana Shalakaya Chakshura Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Nama Gurva Bishtam Supurakam Guruganarasi Shambhushitam Chintya Samasta Veda Nipanam Shri Rupa Patanugam Govindabhidam Ujvalam Bharatanum Bhaktyan Vidam Sundaram Mande Vishwagurun Shah Divyad Bhagavat Premnavi Bija Pranam Devam Divyatanam Suchandavaranam Balarka Chilanshitam Sandrananda Puram Sadeka Varanam Vairagya Vidyamburim Sri Siddhanta Nidhim Subhakti Lasitam Saraswatanam Baram Bandetam Shubharam Mareka Sharanam Nyashishvara Shridaram Vanshakopatarubyasya Kripa Sindhu Bhyevacha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Namo Mahabaranyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauratavishe Namah. So we're hearing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita by Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, translation and commentary by Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. This is Madhya-lila, chapter 25, how all the residents of Varanasi became Vaishnavas. And I very much like this chapter because the previous 4 chapters or so is Mahaprabhu speaking with Sanatan Goswami, which he's doing in Varanasi. This is after he's returned from Vrindaban. But in this chapter, when Mahaprabhu returned from Vrindaban to Varanasi, he converted all the Mayavadi sannyasis. But that's already been previously described in the Adi-lila, chapter 7. So this is the last chapter of the Madhya-lila, and in this chapter, it's principally describing the after effects of after Mahaprabhu is converting all the Mayavadi sannyasis, has converted them all. And it's very nice, this chapter. Vaishnavi Kritya Sannyasi Mukan Kashini Vasina Sanatanam Samskritya Prabhur Niladrim Agamat Vaishnavi Kritya Sannyasi Mukan Kashi Nivasina Sanatanam Samskritya Prabhur Niladrim Agamat. After converting into Vaishnavas, all the residents of Varanasi after converting into Vaishnavas, all the residents of Varanasi who were headed by the sannyasis, and after completely educating and instructing Sanatan Goswami there, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu returned to Jagannath Puri. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda Jaya Advaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. All glories to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all glories to Sri Nityananda Prabhu, all glories to Sri Advaita Chandra, and all glories to all the devotees of Lord Chaitanya. E Mata Mahaprabhu Dui Masha Parjanta Shikaila Tare Bhakti Siddhantaranta. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu instructed Sri Sanatan Goswami in all the conclusions of devotional service for 2 consecutive months. Paramananda Kirtaniya Shekarera Sangi Prabhure Kirtana Shunaya Ebora Rangi. For as long as Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was in Varanasi, Paramananda Kirtaniya, who was a friend of Chandrasekhar's, chanted the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and other songs to Mahaprabhu in a very humorous way. Sannyasi Ergan Prabhure Jadi Upekshila Bhakta Dukkha Khandaite Tare Kripa Koila. When the Mayavadi sannyasis at Varanasi criticized Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Lord's devotees became very much depressed. To satisfy them, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu showed his mercy to the sannyasis. Sannyasire kripa purbe liki jachon bistariya udeshe kohiye ihan sankepa koriya. In the 7th chapter of the Madhya-lila, I have already elaborately described Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's deliverance of the sannyasis at Varanasi, but I shall briefly repeat it in this chapter. Jahan takan prabhura ninda kore sannyasiragan shuni duke Maharashtriya vipra kore bintan. When the Mayavadi sannyasis were criticizing Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu anywhere and everywhere in Varanasi, the Maharashtrian Brahmin, hearing this blasphemy, began to think about this unhappily. Prabhur swabhava jeba deke sanidane swarup anubhavetare ishwara koremane. The Maharashtriya Brahmin thought, whoever closely sees the characteristics of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately realizes his personality and accepts him as the Supreme Lord. Kon prakare paranjari ekatra korite iha deki sannyasighan habe ihara bhakte. If by some means I can assemble all the sannyasis together, they will certainly become his devotees after seeing his personal characteristics. Varanasi bas amaro hoy sarvakale sarvakala dukkha pab ihana korile. I shall have to reside at Varanasi the rest of my life. If I do not try to carry out this plan, I shall certainly continue to suffer mental depression. Eta chinti niman Srila sannyasira gane tabese vipra aila Mahaprabhu stane. Thinking like this, the Maharashtrian Brahmin extended an invitation to all the sannyasis of Varanasi. After doing this, he finally approached Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to extend him an invitation. Henakale ninda shuni sekaratapan dukapaya prabhupade koila nibedan. At this time, Chandrasekhar and Tapan Mishra both heard blasphemous criticism against Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and felt very unhappy. They came to Mahaprabhu's lotus feet to submit a request. Bhakta dukkha deki prabhu manate chintila sanyasiraman firaite manahoila. They submitted their request, and Mahaprabhu, seeing his devotees' unhappiness, decided to turn the minds of the Mayavadi sannyasis. Henakale bipra she korila nimantran aneka doinjari kori darila charan. While Mahaprabhu was seriously considering meeting with the Mayavadi sannyasis, the Maharashtriya Brahmin approached him and extended an invitation. The Brahmin submitted his invitation with great humility, and he touched the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Tabe Mahaprabhu Tara Nimantran Manila Aradin Madhyana Kore Tara Garegela. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted his invitation, and the next day, after finishing his noontime activities, he went to the Brahman's house. That means after bathing and doing worship, he went to the Brahman's house. Tahan jai jai koila prabhu sanyasira nistar pancha tatva kyane taha koriyache bistar. I've already described Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's deliverance of the Mayavadi sannyasis in the 7th chapter of the Madhya-lila when I described the glories of the Panchatattva, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Nityananda Prabhu, Advaita Prabhu, Gadadhar Prabhu, and Srivas. Grantabare punarukte hoita katan tahan jena likilun taha koriye likan. Since I have already described this incident very elaborately In the 7th chapter of the Madhya-lila, I do not wish to increase the size of this book by giving another description. However, I shall try to include in this chapter whatever was not described there. Jai Dibasa Prabhu Sanya Sire Kripa Koila Se Dibasa Hoite Grame Kolahala Hoila. Beginning from the day on which Mahaprabhu showed his mercy to the Mayavadi sannyasis, there were vivid discussions about this conversion among the inhabitants of Varanasi. Lokera Sangatai Prabhure Dekite Nana Shastre Pandita Aishe Shastra Bicharite. Crowds of people came to see Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from that day on, and scholars of various scriptures discussed different subject matters with the Lord. Sarva Shastra Kande Prabhu Bhakti Kore Sar Shayuktika Bhakti Mana Firaya Sabar. When people came to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to discuss the principles of various scriptures, the Lord defeated their false conclusions and established the predominance of devotional service to the Lord. With logic and argument, he very politely changed their minds. Upadesh loya kore Krishna Sankirtan sarvalok hasegai koraye nartan. As soon as people received instructions from Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they began to chant the Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. Thus everyone laughed, chanted, and danced with the Lord. Can you open this door a little bit? Prabhure pranata hoila sanya seragan atma madhye goshti kore chade adyayan. All the Mayavadi sannyasis offered their obeisances unto Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and they began to discuss his movement, giving up their studies of Vedanta and Mayavad philosophy. So the Mayavadi sannyasis had been converted by Mahaprabhu. He defeated their arguments, he convinced them of devotional service, and from that day on, they all gave up impersonalist philosophy and became followers of Mahaprabhu. Prakashananda Sishya Ek Tahara Saman Sabamadye Kohe Prabhur Korea Saman. One of the disciples of Prakashananda Saraswati, who was as learned as his guru, began to speak in that assembly, offering all respects to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So this is one of the principal disciples of the leader of the Mayavadi sannyasis, who is Prakashananda Saraswati. So one of his disciples, who was as learned as his guru, began to speak about Mahaprabhu. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Hoy Sakat Narayan Vyasa Sutrararta Korana Ati Manoram. He said Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is directly Narayan himself. When he explains the Vedanta Sutra, he does so very nicely. Upanishader Korana Mukyarta Vyakyan Shunya Pandita Loker Judai Manakan. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explains the direct meaning of the Upanishads. When all learned scholars hear this, their minds and ears are satisfied. Sutra Upanishader Mukyarta Chariya Acharya Kalpana Kore Agrahak Korea. Giving up the direct meaning of the Vedanta Sutra and the Upanishads, Shankar Acharya imagines some other interpretation. Acharya Kalpita Arta Jay Pandita Shune Muke Hoy Hoy Kore Ridaya Namane. All the interpretations of Shankar Acharya are imaginary, Such imaginary interpretations are verbally accepted by learned scholars, but they do not appeal to the heart. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Bhakya Drida Satyamani Kalikale Sannyase Samsara Nahi Jini. The words of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu are firm and convincing, and I accept them as truth. In this age of Kali, one cannot be delivered from the material clutches simply by formally accepting the renounced order. So just by becoming a sannyasi, one cannot be delivered from material influences or material nature. One can't become free from mundane consciousness just by taking sannyas. Harer nama shloker jay gorila bhyakyan say satyas sukadartha parama praman. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's explanation of the verse beginning Harer nama Harer is not only pleasing to the ear, but is strong factual knowledge or strong factual evidence. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's explanation of the verse beginning Harer Nama is not only pleasing to the ear, but is strong factual evidence. This verse is from the Padma Puranas. Harer Nama Eva Kevalam Kalo Nasteva Gatiranyata. Chant the holy names, chant the holy names, chant the holy names. There is no other way, there is no other way. There is no other way for deliverance in this age of Kali. So that sannyasi of Prakashananda Saraswati says, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's explanation of the verse beginning Hare Nama is not only pleasing to the ear, but is strong factual evidence. Bhakti bina mukti nahe bhagavate kai kale kale namabase suke mukti hoy. In this age of Kali, one cannot attain liberation without taking to the devotional service of the Lord. In this age, even if one chants the holy name of Krishna imperfectly, he still attains liberation very easily. Shreya Shritim Bhaktim Udashyate Vibo Klishanti Jay Kevala Buddha Labdaye Tesham So Kleshala Evasishyate Nanyad Yata Stula Nishabhagatinam. My dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the only auspicious path. If one gives it up simply for speculative knowledge or the understanding that these living beings are spirit souls and the material world is false, he undergoes a great deal of trouble. He only gains troublesome and inauspicious activities. His actions are like beating a husk that is already devoid of rice. His labor becomes fruitless, useless, waste of time. But what is this then? Here we see the persons. My dear Lord, devotional service unto you is the auspicious path. If one gives it up simply for speculative knowledge or the understanding that these living beings are spirit souls and the material world is false, he undergoes a great deal of trouble. He only gains troublesome and inauspicious activities. His actions are like beating a husk that is already devoid of rice. His labor becomes fruitless. So this is Mayavad philosophy. It's Brahma Satya Jagat Mithya. The Brahma, spirit is real, but Jagat, Mithya, this world is false. They think everything is false. Everything is illusion. So there is no activity on that plane. There's no understanding on that plane. It is like they don't understand that the material world isn't imaginary. It's not that it doesn't exist. It's made of matter, which is temporary, that's true, but it's not imaginary. It's just a different energy of the Lord. There's the internal energy or the spiritual energy. There's the living entities who are the marginal energy, and there's the avidya or the material energy. But the Lord can utilize his energies in any way. He's the source of energies. Shaktiman, the Lord is the controller of the energy. So to think that the energy of the Lord is false, this is very wrong philosophy. Yenye ravindaksha vimuktamaninas tvayasta bhavad avishuddha buddhaya aruya kritrena parambaram tata patanti hado nadrita yushmadangraya. O lotus-eyed one, those who think they are liberated in this life, but who are devoid of devotional service to you, are of impure intelligence. Although they accept severe austerities and penances and rise to the spiritual position to impersonal Brahman realization, they fall down again because they neglect to worship your lotus feet. So to attain that Brahman position is that's not a proper position, because everyone is spirit soul, and the spirit soul has thinking, feeling, and willing. Thinking, feeling, and willing. So one is possessed of that, one has those qualities. So if someone simply tries to merge into the Brahman, eventually, because latent desires will assert themselves. And because he has no knowledge of activities on the spiritual level, the only thing that can assert itself is activities and desires on the mundane level. So they will fall from that position back to this material world. And that's what this verse is saying. Yenye ravindaksha vimukta maninas tvayasta bhavad avishuddha buddhaya aruya kritrena parampadam tata patanti ado nadrita yushmadangraya. O lotus-eyed one, those who think they are liberated in this life, but who are devoid of devotional service to you, are of impure intelligence. Although they accept severe austerities and penances and rise to the spiritual position to impersonal Brahman realization, they fall down again because they neglect to worship your lotus feet. Brahma Shabde Kohe Shad Aishvarya Purna Bhagavan Tare Nirvishesha Stapi Purnata Hoihan. They have no knowledge of activities on the spiritual level, and therefore they neglect to take shelter of the Lord's lotus feet, where they would have shelter, but they followed because they don't have that standing. They again fall to this material world. Brahma Shabde Kohe Shad Aishwarya Purna Bhagavan Tare Nirvishesha Stapi Purnata Hoihan. The word Brahman, the greatest, indicates the Supreme Personality of Godhead, full in all six opulences. But if we take the one-sided, impersonalist view, his fullness is diminished, because then they don't accept that the Lord is divine, that he has qualities. He's not impersonal, he's a person, and he has qualities. So now you see that this is the principal disciple of Prakashananda Saraswati, who's the leader of the Mayavadi sannyasis, and his principal disciple is saying that Mayavad philosophy is completely wrong and we reject that. And he's become a devotee. Shruti Purana Kohe Krishnera Chit Shakti Vilas Tahanahi Mani Pandita Kore Upahas. The Vedas, the Upanishads, the Brahma Sutra, and the Puranas all describe the activities of the spiritual potency of the Lord. If one cannot accept the personal activities of the Lord, he jokes foolishly and gives an impersonal description. Chidananda Krishna Vigraha Maika Korimani Ebora Pap Satya Chaitanya Bani. The Mayavadis do not recognize the personal form of the Lord as spiritual and full of bliss. This is a great sin. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's statements are actually factual. Nata parambarama yad bhavata svarupam anandamatram avikalpam avyadavarcha pashami vishvasrijam eka avishvam atman Bhutendriyatmakam arastha upashritosmi. O Supreme One, the transcendental form I am now seeing is full of bliss. It is not contaminated by the external energy. It is full of effulgence. My Lord, there is no better understanding of you than this. You are the Supreme Soul and the creator of this material world. But you are not connected with this material world. You are completely different from creative form and variety. I sincerely take shelter of that form of yours, which I am now seeing. This form is the original source of all living beings and their senses. Drishtam shrutam bhuta bhavishat stashnur charishnur mahad alpakamba vinachitad vastu taram navacham saeva sarvam paramatma bhuta. Lord Sri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the cause of all causes. He is past, present, and future, and He is the movable and immovable. He is the greatest and the smallest, and He is visible and directly experienced. He is celebrated. He is visible and directly experienced. He is celebrated in the Vedic literature. Everything is Krishna. Without Him, there is no existence. He is the root of all understanding, and He is that which is understood by all words. Tadvaidam bhuvana mangalam mangalaya jnanesma no darashitam ta upasakanam tasmai namo bhagavate nuvidema tubhyam yo nadrito naraka Bhagbira Sat Prasangai. O most auspicious one, for our benefit you eliminate our worship of you by manifesting, O most auspicious one, for our benefit you enable our worship of you by manifesting your transcendental form, which you show to us in our meditation. We offer our respectful obeisances unto you, the Supreme Person, and we worship you, whom impersonalists do not accept due to their poor fund of knowledge. Thus they are liable to descend into a hellish condition. Avajanante mamudha manoshim tanamashritam parambhavam ajananto mamabhuta maheshwaram. Fools disrespect me because I appear like a human being. They do not know my supreme position as the cause of all causes, the creator of the material energy. Tanaham dvishata kruran samsareshu naradaman shipami ajasram ashubhan ashurish veva yonishu. Those who are envious of my form, who are cruel and mischievous, and the lowest among men are perpetually cast by me into hellish existence in various demoniac species of life. Sutrera parinam vada tahana maniya vivartavad stape vyasa branta bolia. Not accepting the transformation of energy, Sripad Shankar Acharya has tried to establish the theory of illusion under the plea that Vyasadeva has made a mistake. So Shankar Acharya has concluded wrong. He doesn't accept that energy can be transformed and utilized by the Lord because he doesn't accept the personal existence of the Lord. And he has tried to say that Vedavyas has made a mistake in talking about how the Lord's energies are used in the material world, the spiritual world. So Shankaracharya doesn't accept this, the transformation of energy. he says he only accepts the theory of illusion, that if we see a transformation of energy, think that we are spirit souls, then that is illusion, because Brahma can't be altered. That Brahma is formless, without qualities in anything. So any exhibition of individuality, qualities, etc., is all illusion. Shankar Acharya doesn't accept the spirit soul. So not accepting the transformation. So atheists, we can say, previously existing in India was philosophy, which we'll consider to be atheism. It doesn't accept, it thinks everything is just a disorder of the mind. So that if one can stop all the activities of the mind, one can attain the level of nirvishesh, it's not nirvishesh, they say the nirvana. Nirvana means stopping the activities of the mind, and supposedly that means there will be no more activities of the material nature. But they're actually atheists because they accept the personal form of the Lord. So Sripad Shankar Acharya has his Mayavad philosophy to convince the atheist and bring them under his control. Because it's a plan of the Lord to gradually bring the atheist. Buddhism had been presented, and once one is free from the sin of animal killing, he cannot understand religion or God. Although Lord Buddha was an incarnation of Krishna, he did not speak of God, for the people were unable to understand. He simply wanted to stop animal killing. Sripad Shankaracharya wanted to establish the predominance of one's spiritual identity. Therefore, he wanted to convert the atheists through an imaginary interpretation of the Vedic literature. These are the secrets of the Acharyas. Sometimes they conceal the real purpose of the Vedas and explain the Vedas in a different way. Sometimes they enunciate a different theory just to bring the atheist under their control. Thus it is said that Shankara's philosophy is for Pashanda's atheist. So Shankaracharya's philosophy is really like modified atheism. Basically, there's very little difference between Shankaracharya's impersonalist philosophy and the impersonalist atheism. Paramartha vichar gela kore matrabad kahan mukte pab kahan krishnara prasad. The atheists, headed by the Mayavadi philosophers, do not care for liberation or Krishna's mercy. They simply continue to put forward false arguments and counter theories to atheistic philosophy, not considering or engaging in spiritual matters. So that's the description of that Mahaprabhu is given of the Mayavadis there. They don't care for liberation or Krishna's mercy. They simply continue to put forward false arguments and counter theories to atheistic philosophy, not considering or engaging in spiritual matters. So they're very much like the atheists. They're very much like the Buddhists. They haven't got the actual adaptation of devotional service or spiritual practices, because they don't even believe that spiritual existence actually exists. They don't believe that a person is a spirit soul and he has activities. Vyasa Sutra Artha Koriyache Achadan Ahoy Satya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Vachan. The conclusion is the import of the Vedanta Sutra is covered by the imaginary explanation of Shankar Acharya. Whatever Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has said is perfectly true. Chaitanya Gosai Jai Kohe Se Matasar Arajat Matase Saba Charakar. Whatever meaning Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives is perfect. Any other interpretation is simply a distortion. Etta kohe se kore Krishna Sangha Shuni Prakashananda Kichu Kohina Vachan. After saying this, the disciple of Prakashananda Saraswati began to chant the holy name of Krishna. Hearing this, Prakashananda Saraswati made the following statement. This was Prakashananda Saraswati's principal student, principal disciple. Now we'll hear the statements of Prakashananda Saraswati himself, who was the leader of the atheists, the leader of the Mayavadis. Acharjera graha dvaita ban stapite tate sudrarta bhakya koreanyarite. Prakashananda Saraswati said, Shankar Acharya monistic philosophy. Bhagavata Manilaya Dvaitana Jai Stapan Ateva Sab Shastra Koraye Kandan. If one accepts the personality of God, the philosophy that God and the living entity are one cannot be established. Therefore, Shankaracharya argued again and refuted all kinds of revealed scriptures. Living entities of this material existence, so anybody can see that that's false argument once they accept Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Che granta karta chahe swamata stapite shastrara sahaja artak nahitaha hoite. Anyone who wants to establish his own opinion or philosophy certainly cannot accept any scripture according to the principle of direct interpretation. If anyone just reads the scriptures and accepts the direct interpretation, they can't establish their incorrect philosophies like Mayavad impersonalism or the Buddhist atheism. Actually, the Buddhist and the Mayavads, neither of them accept that there is a Supreme Lord and that he exists. The Mayavadis believe that the Lord is just some manifestation or person in the mode of goodness, but they don't understand that the Lord is the controller of the modes of material nature. Vimam shaka kohe ishvara hoy karmera anga shankya kohe jagatera prakrite karana prasanga. The Mimamsaka philosophers conclude that if there is a God, he is subject to our fruitive activity. Similarly, the Shankya philosophers who analyze the cosmic manifestation say that the cause of the cosmos is material nature. Nyayako he paramanu hoite vishva hoy mayavadi nirvishesh brahme hetukoi. The followers of Nyaya, the philosophy of logic, maintain that the atom is the cause of the cosmic manifestation. And the Mayavadi philosophers maintain that the impersonal Brahman effulgence is the cause of the cosmic manifestation. The followers of Nyaya, the philosophy of logic, maintain that the atom is the cause of the cosmic manifestation, and the Mayavadi philosophers maintain that the impersonal Brahman effulgence is the cause of the cosmic manifestation. Patanjala kohe Ishwara hoy swarupa gyan. Patanjala kohe Ishwara hoy swarup gyan. Veda mate kohe tare swayam Bhagavan. The Patanjala philosophers say that when one is self-realized, he understands the Lord. Similarly, according to the Vedas, according to the Vedas and Vedic principles, the original cause is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, at this point, I'd like to just say today is the disappearance day of Sripad Bhakti Premik Siddhanti Maharaj. Tomorrow, of course, is the appearance day. Very wonderful, the appearance day of Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, which we'll celebrate in the evening to give all of our residents of the Seva Ashram and guests opportunity to come here after work, because some persons are working, so we'll have an evening program. But right now I'd just like to say a few words about Siddhanti Maharaj, because we all know Siddhanti Maharaj, and we know we had a close relationship, many of us, and we know that Siddhanti Maharaj, he's a resident of Santa Cruz. He was from Santa Cruz, and his even we had one dog here, Shamali, and she was very ill and required some expensive medical treatment, which the ashram didn't have the money to provide that. But Siddhanti Maharaj was a sannyasi, and he paid for the dog's treatment. He was very, very kind man, very nice man. And Srila Govinda Maharaj said, if anybody wanted to know what is Guru Bhakti, or to get Guru Bhakti, they could take the dust from Siddhanti Maharaj's feet. And I remember when I was young, I was 25 years old, I went I went to India, and I got there, and the mission was just beginning in India. It maybe had 6 months of existence. Srila Prabhupada had gone to Gujarat with the devotees. And when I got there, Siddhanti Maharaj had just left because in India he got tuberculosis. But Srila Prabhupada spoke of him very highly. Srila Prabhupada referred at that time of Siddhanti Maharaj, referred to him as a pure devotee. And we didn't hear Prabhupada speak that way very often of others, but he did praise Siddhanti Maharaj. And it was interesting, and I was wondering, who is this person? And years later I met him. Actually, I don't believe I met him so much until I came to the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat. But he was always, from the beginning, he was active here in the Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Mat in San Jose. When the devotees were on 13th Street, I visited there sometimes. I was staying in Mexico with ISKCON, but sometimes I remember Siddhanti Maharaj would be there, and he'd be sometimes at the center of some argument, some what happened. But I remember he was from the early days when I had heard Prabhupada speak so highly of him, now I understood, oh, this is the person. And he would discuss things with the Rishabdev sometimes on the steps outside the temple. But it's interesting how Govinda Maharaj had much affection for him. And I can say the quality that I probably remember most about Siddhanti Maharaj is he very enthusiastic for doing Harinam and chanting. He always wanted to go to Pacific Avenue here and chant and do Harinam. And when he would go, he would always be jumping. Enthusiastic about Harinam, and he also would always accompany Maharaj on all his world tours. Siddhanti Maharaj would go with him. Sometimes he would pay for the tickets of other devotees, like Govinda Maharaj's servants. He would pay for them to go on the trip also. So he was a kind man, and his also, I just remember, so many little things about him. I remember how when he would travel, when he'd go to different airports, like Thailand, he would always make sure to buy a glass of papaya juice. That was what he'd always look for. And when he was in India, he would always go to the market himself and buy fruit to bring back. Because wherever he went, he was very much accustomed to eating fruit. He would always take fruit. Yeah, so what can I say? He's somebody really close to us. And this was all, I remember it was 2010, and he actually called Govinda Maharaj to ask Govinda Maharaj's permission to die, literally. 2000. Maharaj, we are all getting our karma full. We're all getting the results of our previous karma. But Govinda Maharaj was saying that to Siddhanta Maharaj and also applying it to himself. Because Govinda Maharaj was very ill also. And Siddhanta Maharaj left in February and Govinda Maharaj left at the end of March. So
Siddhanta Maharaj wanted to leave before Govinda Maharaj left.
It would appear that way, right? It seemed like that. He literally called and asked Govinda Maharaj's permission to die, and he didn't take his own life or anything. He actually went through several years suffering of cancer, and he showed some dignity when he was suffering. He always had devotees. He lived upstairs in the small room, the house where I'm at. And he always had devotees go up there and read to him. Every day he had different devotees go up and read scripture to him. And he liked hearing that. And he always very affectionate to the devotees. And I remember he also had, what's his name? Virachandra. He had him read, and he also devised some plan. Wasn't claiming the money. It was just that Siddhanta Maharaj arranged that Virachandra would get some pay for his service to him. So Virachandra was a new devotee, and Siddhanta Maharaj wanted him to get some benefit because he liked that. But today is his disappearance day, so we're happy. Huh?
Pancakes for breakfast. She made pancakes in his honor.
Okay. And the person who was very much taking care of Siddhanta Maharaj was Sanatani. She was very dedicated to taking care of him. Came every day practically to help take care of him, despite the fact she has her own family and everything. But she was very selfless in taking care of Siddhanta Maharaj. So now I'll chant Hari Harai. Hari Harai Nama Krishna Jaravaya Nama Jaravaya Madhavaya Keshavaya Nama Gopal Govinda Ram Shri Madhusudan Giridhari Gopinatha Madanamohan Sri Chaitanya Nityananda Sri Advaita Chandra Garadhara Shiva Sadi Gora Bhakta Vrinda Jai Rupa Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Dasa Raghunath Pada Renu Mora Panchagrams Pader Charana Sevi Bhakasani Bas Janame More Abhilash Jai Gosai Jabe Braje Koilabas Radha Krishna Nitya Lila Korila Prakash Ane Bolo Hari Bhaja Vrindaban Shri Guru Vaishnava Pade Marjai Aman Shri Guru Vaishnava Pad Padma Koriyash Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Nitai Haribo, 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 Haribo. Nitai Gora Haribo, 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 Haribo. Jai Saparikara Shri Shri Guru Goranga Gandharvika Giridhar Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charyasta Tara Sada Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Parabhajaka Charya Ashtatara Sada Shri Srimad Srila Bhakti Rakshidhar Dev Gosai Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Bhagavan Srila Bhakti Sanatan Saraswati Gosai Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Gaur Kishordas Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Satchidananda Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Vaishnavas Sarvabhauma Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Jai. Rupanuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Namachari Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Sanatana Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopal Bhatta Das Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Prem Sigo Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Shri Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Vrindaban Das Thakur Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Bhagavat Ki Jai. Narottam Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Vishvavarenya Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Srila Bhakti Nirmal Acharya Maharaj Ki Jai. Ananda Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mat Ki Jai. Soquel Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Seva Ashram Ki Jai. Sri Chaitanya Saraswati Madhacharya Brinda Ki Jai, Shri Shri Radha Krishna Go Gopi Govardhan, Shyam Kuna Radha Kunda Kalindi Yamuna Ju Ki Jai, Samaveda Bhakta Brinda Ki Jai.